Kim is starting off this hour in Florida. Hi, Kim. How are you?
Doing great. How are you, Dave?
Better than I deserve. What's up in your world?
Well, let's see. I learned about 9 months ago that my husband had acquired some debt I did not know about. I've always lived completely debt-free prior to us getting married, which I didn't get married till I was 36, and owned a house at the time and paid cash for my car, brand new. Didn't know about you at that moment. But so married, and then 14 years into the marriage, I'm not sure what happened. He is a big follower of you, and we've attended 2 of your live events. I introduced him to you when we first started dating, and he's even taught FPU before at our church in our last place where we were living. So I learned out of the blue that he had charged on a credit card about $50,000. And there were a couple of other credit cards as well that he eventually admitted to. And he had also taken withdrawals from his IRA in the amount of about $80,000. So needless to say, this is quite devastating to our marriage and to me. So
this is so inconsistent with everything else that you know about him. It tells us that there must be some extreme thing going on.
Yes.
Like he's leading a double life for some reason, which indicates an affair or an addiction or something like that. What's going on?
Right. I asked him point blank, denies any sort of affair, although me being the person that I am, I ordered all the credit card statements and looked at those, and there are things on there that would lead me to think and believe that could have possibly gone on.
Well, there's something that's inconsistent. Because he's leading a double life, agreed? He not only lied about this and hid it, it is an extreme amount, and it's not like he was, this is a guy who taught Financial Peace University, claims to live one way, and is doing things that are absolutely perpendicular to that, which tells us there's some kind of extreme switch is flipped in his head, right?
I would think. Now, I will tell you that we had made a big move, and he had gone through several job changes and had gone from making to close to $200,000 a year to less than half of that. And in the midst of all of that, bought a house. And I kept saying, let's find out exactly what we want to pay for a mortgage, and let's look at all our investments. And that was kind of ignored, and we bought the home, and his jobs continued to change and not get better. And so, and in the meanwhile, we were renovating some on this house. So he has led me to believe that this was all due to that, and things were just behind, and they got out of control, and he couldn't share.
Why were you not involved enough in the budget to know where all the current money that he was making was going, therefore knowing it wasn't enough?
Right. Because he took over all of the finances.
Which is also inconsistent with everything else you told me about what he's been taught.
Right.
So are y'all seeing a marriage counselor?
Well, we started before I knew about all of this. And of course, because that was not based on all of the absolute truth, we had stopped seeing that gentleman saying, well, he's not really helping. And then I went back to my own counselor, and I have been seeing that person, and he has read a book and told me he thinks he's codependent, and I am not certain where he is.
Your husband thinks he's codependent?
Right. I'm not certain where he he's
not codependent. He's a liar. That's different than codependence. He's a deceiver. I don't know what the root of his deception is, but that's not codependence. He's lied, and not just a little. Extreme amounts of lies and hiding, and has worked very, very hard to hide this from you. And what's most disturbing is not just that, is that that it is so perpendicular to everything he claimed to be. And And so
Yeah.
and I don't know, in my experience, and if you were my friends and you two sat down at the table with a cup of coffee with Sharon and me, I would not be very gentle with him. I would have been ripping him to shreds, not because he didn't follow my stuff, but because I'm going to try to find out what's really going on down in here, because some kind of a switch flip that is not good. There is an addiction or there's an affair. I'll give you a 90% probability of one or the other.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
There's a gambling addiction. There's a honey on the side. There's a pornography thing going on with prostitution. There is some, and I'm not trying to be melodramatic. It's just too extreme. No. It's too extreme. The dichotomy of it's so opposite and so perpendicular to everything we know about this man until we learn this, and then he doesn't come clean.
Right.
He tries to rationalize it away and sweep it under the rug, which that tells me more addiction than affair. But I don't know. I'm not a mental health counselor. I've just worked with them in situations like this for 30 years, and so I can just smell these rats. So I'm so sorry. What a horrible thing for you all to go through, and horrible that he went through this job loss and it led to whatever this other thing is, because their self-esteem hit on all that is probably precipitated some of it. But
he's very much an alpha male, and. Yeah, for sure. The self-esteem. And, I want to help him, whether we're together or not. Yeah. I want him to be healed and whatever it is, because...
Well, this is, for you, a normal mentally stable person in your shoes would have all the same emotions of the 140,000 of hidden debt. We call it financial infidelity in our world, because you process the same trust emotions being broken as if he had come in and said he had an affair with the secretary. It touches the same buttons for you if you're a normal human being. And so what that means is that you need to get really good counseling, and not financial counseling, but a good counselor in your corner. And if he wants to engage in some healing with a quality marriage counselor that'll call out all the BS that I'm seeing and you're seeing in his life and help him start to clean it out, you guys have a chance of turning this around. Gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.